All right. Peace and blessings, family. Brother Atum Ra, Melanated and Illuminated, back at it again, giving the people what they want, bringing truth, bringing justice, and bringing peace to the people. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you all are here again for another wonderful event. I have a prolific brother with me today on the show, man. He's, you know what I'm saying, he really got a lot going on in the film industry, in the community out in California, and he just all around a good dude. First of all, man, I want to start off by, letting the people know, make sure that y'all checking us out at melanatedandilluminated.com. We got tons of shows up there. The Blackest Truth is popping, in my opinion, with Star Howard, Conscious Mindset, Sharpie's Dollhouse, and it's all going down. It's all there. And, we continuously add in shows and we continuously trying to, give the people what they want and give them a variety of different Black media, shows that are out there. Make sure you check us out, melanatedandilluminated.com. A lot of people have been asking us about investment, whether it's stocks, cryptocurrency. So, we just recently started to post pieces. I have two good write-ups from my man, Christopher Butler, dealing with cryptocurrency. So make sure you go check that out on Melanated and Illuminated. You can see that on the Melanated News. And I also look for, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to be doing web seminars with different people that I know within the various investment communities that's going to be giving some good advice to the people, helping our people build wealth and, helping our people get up on this crypto rush that's going on right now. As y'all can see, today I'm repping the BLA, Blacklist Association, and I just want to let everybody know there's an event coming up in Houston on Saturday, December 16th. It's going to be the Smudge Houston Strong Edition. It's going to be All Real Radio, Harambe Art Gallery, and the Blacklist Association. We're going to have vending, we're going to have music, we're going to have food, it's going to have community, and, it's just going to be healing. We definitely going to take this opportunity to efforts that went on in Houston during Harvey, during our latest storm, all the different people and different organizations that showed up and went out and was on the front lines. And so it's just going to be a community event. It's going to be all fun. And so make sure you come out to 4302 Alameda Road on Saturday, December 16th. It's going to be from 2 to 6. Again, that's the Smudge, the Houston Strong Edition, hosted by All Real Radio, Harambe Art Gallery, and the Blacklist Association at the pop-up place at 4302 Alameda. If you want more information, you can definitely follow the Blacklist Association on Facebook, and you'll stay updated with that. Now, the reason we here today, yes, my man, J.A Frost.
How's it going, man? Hey, chilling, man. How are you doing, man?
Man, too blessed to be stressed, man. You know what I'm
saying? Hey, that's how I feel, man.
Like I told you earlier, man, like my boy Sharp, man, I'm over here on these yakking miles. So,
yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm not much of a drinker, man, but yeah, I keep some of the smoke around me as well. So I definitely understand. Definitely understand.
Man, how things going out there in Cali, bro?
Man, just touching up the last few looks on the film right now. I have a meeting with my editor in like 2 hours, so just trying to knock that out. Submitted that to the film festivals, and yeah, it's pretty much, man. I've been really focused on that, and working on my project after that. So yeah, just staying focused, man. Just trying to get like Spike in them, man, like John Singleton, all them cats. I'm trying to get on that level, but it's a lot of hard work though, man.
Yeah, most definitely. So, man, tell the people, man, give them a little background on yourself, man. Where you from, man? How long you been in the industry? And, just what kind of inspired you to go into directing and writing and everything like that, man?
Well, pretty much, man. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. It's a small city, like 45 minutes south from Detroit. And I grew up there. You know, I grew up playing basketball, and I was all city, all district where I was from. I went to like this school called St. Francis, which is a Catholic school. And like, you know, I just kind of grew up. I was just a regular cat, man. You know, my dad's side of the family lived in Columbus, which a lot of my mom's side too lived in Columbus, Ohio as well. So I'm kind of just going back and forth there growing up. Really focused on basketball, man. I thought I was like, you know, I thought I was a shit. So that was really my focus. Like a lot of young brothers, you know, they, you know, sports, they pound the sports into us, especially if you have any height. I'm 6'4", so it was natural. Everyone's trying to get you to play sports, which is great and all. But when I was like 19, after I was done and my knees were done, I really wasn't trying to go to college and play. And I was kind of just, you know, my grandmother just passed. She pretty much left me her house. So I was like 19 with like a 5-bedroom house and just running them up. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I was into film. Like I was just everything about watching the movie, like just thinking about how, you know, they got the actors, how on set, you know, everything that all that stuff intrigued me. So I always just watch movies. I was just into film. And when I was 21, my older cousin, he moved out here to Hollywood. He was a film promoter. His name is Al Miller. And he was like in the Black Hollywood scene. He was doing this thing. So he was telling me like, hey, you want to come out here? Come stay here with me. You know, come out here and kick in LA for a few months. So I'm like, cool. You know, I really wasn't doing nothing. I was at this like standstill in my life where I was going through a lot of conspiracy theory. I was like one of those cats, man. I was pounding out a lot of YouTube videos, and I was just like, I wasn't really trying to be off the grid. You know, I was on that tip. And I came out here, I was partying with my cousin, and then every now and then we'll be driving to Hollywood, and I'll see a film set. And like my heart, it was like something, it was like a rush I got, man. Something like in my heart, it was like, wow, it just felt, I just wanted to stop. Whatever I was doing, I just wanted to stop and go look at what they were doing. And after a while, I told myself, like, hey, that's something I really want to get into. And then I met my neighbor when I first moved here, like on my own. I had a neighbor, and he's actually the DP for this film I just did, which is the director of photography, the cinematographer. It's the guy who pretty much shoots the film. And he was the director, and he just gave me a lot of tips and a lot of encouragement. And next thing I know, I'm shooting the film myself. So it's kind of how I just started out of nowhere, man. Just come from Ohio. There is no real film like community as to where here in LA, hell, in LA, you got kids at 11 years old. They're shooting short films now. So it's like, you know, it's curriculum in public schools out here for film and modeling and TV and stuff. So they kind of just already get you going early out here as to where in Ohio, it's just like, it's really none of that stuff going on at all. It's kind of far-fetched. When people see I doing film, they kind of like brush it off and laugh. But, you know, I understand because it's not nothing like that's happening around there. So.
I got you. So, man, peace to that. So, man, let me ask you, man. You know, you hear a lot of strange things, you know, that go out there in LA.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in Hollywood, aka I call it Hollyweird.
Yeah, that's what's called. I always say I'm neighborhood, not Hollywood, man.
Hey, man, that's really
neighborhood, man.
Yeah. So, man, like, how is it, you know what I'm saying, being a brother out there, you know, trying to make it or trying to break through, you know what I'm saying, in the film industry?
Well, one thing, for me, it's different than a lot of brothers come out here, and I know this, for instance, they'll push themselves. They're like, hey, I'm such and such, the director, you know, and they're trying to get picked up by studios or someone else to do projects so they can pay them, pretty much some white guys. Well, me, on the other hand, I started my own film company, Nirvana Island Filmworks, and I'm trying to put out my own content. So I'm not really looking to – I have a company where I already have black content I want to push. See, I want to come back out with that new black renaissance of film. Like in the early 90s, we've seen like a wave of like young black directors come in, and they really made socially conscious films. We don't get that now. We get a lot of goofy shit or too much gangster stuff. Like me, I'm gonna make a gangster flick one day, but it's gonna have you're gonna get something out of it. It's not gonna just be, you know, just bang bang kill, drugs, sex. It's going to have more. It's going to have more of a substance. Really, maybe even talking to why that even exists in our community in the first place. But it just won't be, just a crime, drug, sex filled movie. Like, no, we have to get away from that, or just a goofy, guys in dresses. We have to get away from that. We have to get to where, like, brother Ryan Coogler, he made Fruitvale Station. That movie was deep. And it had a lot. It was deep.
Hey, that was tough, man. That was tough, man. I intentionally waited a while to watch that movie, just you know what I'm saying, because I was already aware of the Oscar Grant situation.
Yeah.
But I knew it was gonna be hard for me to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it, you know what I'm saying? It brought that moment, you know what I'm saying, up.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real good film.
Yeah, excellent film. And now Ryan Coogler, he did Creed after that, and now he's doing the Black Panther. But Ryan Coogler, they push him up because they know he's the next coming. So the higher ups in the studios, they want him. But people don't know that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, they're trying to do a movie on Mansa Musa. That's that's like in Ryan Coogler's back pocket. Like, yeah, I'll do this Black Panther. Yeah, I'll do this, but give me this funding for something I really want to do. You know what I mean? Same thing about Fruitvale. Same thing with Fruitvale Station. I think Forrest Whitaker, executive producing, gave him some money to get that done. Because the higher ups in the studios, they're not, man, unless you put a white savior in these movies, they're not giving us any funds to do any kind of black content. All black, just strictly historically accurate films. Yeah, it's not happening. So anytime I see films, and this no disrespect to anybody, but certain films and I see get pushed, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of see with these names, these people's names attached to it, and you're like, what the hell does he have to do with, Thurgood Marshall, or what the hell does he have to do with? And a lot of these films, man, it kills me because this guy named Tariq Nasheed, he did a film called 1804. It's the history of Haiti. And that's the #1 documentary in the world right now, Amazon. But even white media, they don't talk about this at all. They act like it don't even exist. You know what I mean? It's the #1 selling documentary right now. I have it right here. I went to the premiere. I went to the premiere here in Beverly Hills. Brother Tariq held, and man, it was maybe a couple hundred black people sold out. You know what I mean? And they don't talk about this. They never push these things because they know the power we have collectively. Like the movie Girls Trip? That was $100 million film. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But you think about, we show up. We show up for our stuff, but they don't want us seeing certain images. They know, hey, you see, watch the 1804 film. That film's uplifting. You see why Haiti is in the condition they are because of what they've done. You know what I mean? And the mindset that they have, and they know, like, hey, we can never let them rise up again, ever. You know what I mean? So little things like that. And I watch, I'm like, wow. So I have to do my own stuff. I have to raise my own money. I have to write my own films because they're not going to do anything for me. If they do, this film I did right here, they would have had some white savior in it. It would have been, I can't deal with that. It's no point in me being a filmmaker if I have to alter anything to satisfy someone in a dominant society.
Man, that's facts, man. Man, I know you've been paying attention to the news and everything that's going on, man.
Yes.
Let me ask you first, man. How is it being out there in LA in Big Bowler Zone?
Oh yeah, for LeVar. I love it out here, man. I'm a Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan since probably I was like 11, 12. Me and my best friend Adrian, we kind of just made a pact. I mean, we were playing Kobe courtside, and it was just kind of a thing like we're Laker fans now. Because where I'm from, a lot of people are like Detroit fans. A lot of fake Cavs fans as of late. Growing up, I never heard, because Cleveland and Toledo, it's like opposite sides of the north end of Ohio. We're closer to Detroit, so naturally, a lot of University of Michigan fans, a lot of Lions fans, a lot of Piston fans. So, and I was like, I'm not a Piston guy, so I like Lakers. I like the Kobe. Growing up, I'm like, I like Shaq. This is my squad. And now I live out here, it's even better. Last year I had partial season tickets. I'm about to go to a game next week. Now Zoe, I'm a huge Zoe fan. More importantly, I'm a LeVar fan because LeVar is really what we need to install into all the black fathers. Because if we're going to do this sports shit, which I'm almost – if I have a kid one day, I'm almost at odds. Like, do I want him to play sports? Because my thing is, if we put that same energy in, like, trying to build, like, entrepreneurs, trying to build engineers, like, it will be just as good. We could do the same thing, you know, but we kind of force kids. We like, man, we tell them it's the only way out when in reality it's not, especially going forward. It would be almost a crime to tell a kid now that he has to play sports or he has to get some kind of job. Because, man, these trust me, I'm meeting Caucasian kids every day, and these guys are just starting they're doing apps, they're doing all type of stuff online, and they're not leaving their room. And you know what I'm saying? They're physically not leaving their room, and they're making 6 figures a year. So it's something we're going to a different way in the future. So I don't, all them old ways have to die.
Yeah, and we definitely have to get more into that entrepreneurial spirit, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's partially why an unapologetic person like LeVar, you know what I'm saying, rubs even some of our own people the wrong way, you know what I'm saying, just because they're not used to, you know what I'm saying, the brother being out there, you know what I'm saying, doing his own thing, because, you can really see that he's really self-financed, you know what I'm saying? So nobody's gonna pull his sponsorship dollars or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He don't need none of that.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal to people because that's how they control. And even like say with all these sexual rape allegations, if somebody's just mad right now, if you just mad at somebody in Hollywood, you can say, "Hey, this guy fondled me." They're pulled instantly, no matter if it's true or not. You're pulled. So LeVar's at the point now. He's like, you try to say he's a woman hater. You try to say they make up. People in the dominant society, they try to twist everything he says. And if you watch his show, which was a great show, man, I loved his family show. You can see this guy's nothing like they say. They just twist everything. You know what I mean? And he is the threat. Because if he starts his own brand, if he gets that pumping, and other kids are coming in, like the next year, if every year we have one player like that, like I'm gonna start my own thing. Because these kids are a brand. Cats like Ben Simmons, they don't need, and they look at it as a bad thing. I know the dominant society, they pump up the Gloria James, the Mama Iversons, the Mama McNabs. They'll give you a Campbell soup commercial, you and your mama. But a dad and a son, oh no. That's no. What's going on? Because they understand that unless he's like some janitor coon, they're like, okay, he doesn't care. He's just happy his son coming up. He about to get an Escalade or he about to get a new Cadillac. So he like, hey, go with that white man. Let him change your life. So we gotta kill that mindset. LeVar's like, no, you're not about to just financially just molest my son and just take advantage of it. It's not going to happen. I'm here every way of the trip. You know what I mean? And they hate that. They can't control him. They love LeBron James. I mean, LeBron is a good dude now, but 18 years old, he's fresh. They're drooling over him. I mean, they got documentaries talking about how they were drooling over him and flying him out, and they're talking about it like it's like, yeah, it's just it's normal. And it's like, damn, why wasn't it's not really a sweet deal. I think what LeVar's doing, and Zoe will get better. We will win rings with Zoe in the future. I guarantee it. And yeah, all this will blow over, and people will just have to take it. That's just how it's going to be. But a lot of people, like you said, a lot of brothers are scared. That scares them. That's like leaving the plantation because you kind of out there. If it fails, you on your ass. But if it's
right. And it's pretty sick, man, to see like certain people that are, and I'm talking about black men specifically, seeing some of my own people that's just kind of like turn for him to fail. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like any little hiccups, like, oh, see, I told you it was fraud. You know what I'm saying? See, I told you it would make it.
I told the shoes didn't come out. They didn't. He said they was coming out the 23rd. He said they sent out the 24th. I told you you're lying. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about, y'all? But let fucking Nike send them the wrong size of shoes. Oh, it was just a mistake. Let anything happen. Anyone in the dominant society is nothing. But LeVar, any little mishap, Zoe has 0 points or 3 points. Zoe has 3 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. Like, oh, I told you. I'm like, what are you talking?
Right, like I told you he was a bust, or even like with the whole situation with the middle son out in China. Like, see, I told you he wasn't no good father. See, I told you all that.
And these are from people who got, you know, they got felons as their brothers. They got, you know what I mean? And they want to, you know, but you're not saying anything's wrong with a felon, but I'm saying if you're judging, you judge everybody. You don't just one LeAngelo. To this day, we don't know the story. Honestly, I don't think he did anything. From what my knowledge is, LeAngelo didn't steal anything. What happened was when the other one stole something, none of them wanted to snitch. So, you know, even when you black, it's all inclusive. There is no, I can have red on. We can all have red on. I could just be walking down the street with a red shirt. This dude killed somebody. Cops pull up that moment. We all go down. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I mean, at the end of the day, man, as much as people talk about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They was facing this and they was facing that. Like,
no,
all the experts say that if they was going to jail, they wouldn't have got bail. Period. Like, they were never in jail. They was chilling in a hotel.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And at least from what I hear, you know what I'm saying? The dude, I think his name is Jack Ma from Alibaba, UCLA alumni, and you know what I'm saying, he big over in China. You know what I'm saying? He was pulling some strings. And so, you know, then, you know what I'm saying, then all this shit come up with Trump, and Trump talking about he did this, and niggas talking about all the war, you ungrateful, man. You need to be thanking Trump. Like, man.
Yeah, you know what?
Man, fuck out of here, man.
You know, the word ungrateful, that's a new buzzword they're using for black people. It's like you ungrateful. They're using it for the athletes. You notice that that's a new buzzword for the people in the dominant society, more so the suspected and nonsense, just regular white supremacists. They're using this word it's just they know what they're saying. It rallies up. It's like a dog whistle. It rallies up the other. They're like, oh, who's ungrateful? What nigga's ungrateful? That dude making $1 million. That nigga ungrateful. It's that type of shit. So it's like, hey, I don't care how much money I got. I can speak out. His brother's got his hair blown off. You know, I can speak out against that. And it's like, you ungrateful. Well, everything we gotta listen to those words, man. Those words are heavy, man.
Absolutely. And I mean, you even kind of hear like some of the same things, like when they talk about like Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that's going on the NFL protests, they're like, y'all millionaires, y'all not out here getting beat up by the police or whatever. You know what I'm saying? How y'all up for, you know, last summer,
Dr. Dre, some suspected white supremacists were outside Dr. Dre's house, antagonized him. He comes out like, what the fuck? He goes back in his crib. The guy calls the police. The cops come and put cuffs and put Dr. Dre in the back of his cruiser. Dr. Dre's a billionaire, and at his house in Malibu. So I'm like, don't give me that whole money. You can be pulled, checked, anybody can get there. You can, what Jay-Z say, you still nigga, man. At any moment,
still nigga, still nigga. Like that's facts, man. I was like, he say, man, even if you're in the Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe.
That's it. That's it, man. That's it. So, that makes it even worse.
Right, like I said, money don't exempt you from none of that, man. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we still, you know what I'm saying, Melanated, Illuminated, man, we still stand with our brother Kaepernick and everything that he stood for and everything that he, you know what I'm saying, has still going on to this moment. You know, me personally, you know what I'm saying, I'm still boycotting the NFL. This is my first year not watching it, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was a big NFL head. I was into the fantasy football. I was into, you know what I'm saying, everything. You know what I'm saying? I used to host 3 leagues at a time. And everything like that.
You were deep in this shit. Oh, yeah,
I was deep. But, and, you know, some people say, well, you know, the boycotts don't have a direction or it's no collective goal or anything like that. But, I mean, you know, I feel that you have to start somewhere. You feel me?
Period.
Start with making a statement somehow, some way. And, you know what I'm saying? Then you know what I'm saying? You see what comes from there. And, I mean, I think that it's okay for brothers who still want to watch the NFL. Like, I don't think that brothers that want to watch the NFL are sellouts or coons or anything else like that.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is kind of a disease, you know what I'm saying, within our people to and continuously speak out against the protests and actively continues to try to undermine, you know what I'm saying, what people are trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, still gotta understand the different codes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, and we're so far off code as people, it's ridiculous, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why when I come in touch with cats like you, and like, for instance, I could be somewhere and I hear certain cats use certain words, and I'm like, damn, and I could just conversate. I'm like, this dude's on. I just know he's on code. I'm like, yeah, he's on code. You know what I mean? Like, if anything happens, I feel like he will be on code. Like certain things that go on, like being around the dominant society, a code of mind. When you're around people in the dominant society, you can never smile too hard. You should never have the biggest smile in the room when you're full of white people and you're black. That should never happen. If you take the group picture, you're the only black one, you should damn near be mean mugging. Because it's that coon spirit, man. You just see it. Whenever I see cats, you know, just around white people, they just grinning. It's that, man, it's that Steven from the Django. It's that plantation.
Right. Hey, man, like,
you know,
white people like teeth, man. You know what I'm saying?
They love it. Oh, whoo, man. They feel so comfortable. You know what I mean? They like, yeah, this is what we want. You know, don't be dancing. You see that video of them cats that they were in some kind of fraternity, but they were in their job on like Founders Day. They were like doing some step in the office and stuff, and like all the Caucasian people were like clapping. I was like, God, it's a time and place to do that shit, man. You know what I mean? It's just, and then they expect me to do that shit. And I'm like, hell no. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't dancing with you. Like, fuck off. Yeah. So, yeah, the codes, man. People never on code, and everyone's like, well, it's just fun and everything. I'm like, man. I think I heard you say this, or it was either Dr. Boyce Watkins. One of you said this. I'm not sure it was on Twitter, but the tweet said something like, I am a black, like the black community is in a very extremely bad state. So yeah, I am a black extremist. You know what I mean? Like I have no choice but to be. We're in an extremely bad condition right now. So for certain shit, I'm like, we can't do right now, man. We can't be having too much fun. I mean, it sucks to say that, but see, we don't look at the generation behind us. We love that instant gratification. We love our nigga trinkets. We want rims now. We want weave now. Right. We want to turn up now, but we're not thinking about the generation behind us. And that's why we see cats now. And I went to school with white kids, affluent, papered up. But I know that their parents, no matter what, even though the privilege and all that stuff, they still, the people before them, the elders, they sacrificed so they could live like that. You know what I mean? No matter if it was a privilege or not, they sacrificed and put in work so that their kids can have it and they can reap the benefits. You know what I mean? So we don't do that, man. We don't do that. Yeah. I wish my mom could. If every pair of Jordans my mom bought me, if she'd have kept that money and just opened it up in some kind of account, or that would have been way more appreciative and way more valuable to me than any of those shoes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, like the weight is upon our generation now, because we're the ones that we're the forefathers. I'm sorry, we're the forerunners, you know what I'm saying, for the next generation. And that's what's so disappointing with me sometimes when we're having these different conversations and you see brothers up here shucking and jiving, coning, brothers up here making excuses, brothers up here trying to be politically correct because the right tone. And that's not setting the right example for what a man should be. Like, let's just take black out of the equation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's showing the example of what a man should be to the next generation of men and women. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because, it took me a while myself to even figure this out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I became a parent. You know what I'm saying? I got kids. I got daughters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even, you know what I'm saying, I had my struggles early on because, you know what I'm saying, I became a parent at 19. So, you know what I'm saying, I was still fucking up, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, I eventually realized that Now, from this point on, you know what I'm saying? Once you give life, life is bigger than yours.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so, you know, I realized that I not only owe a duty to my children to be that example I want my son to be and what I want my daughter to be with, that I have a duty to my community. And I have a duty to all the melanated kids that I come in contact with to show them an example of how real men's supposed to be and how real men's supposed to lead.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be cowards. We're not supposed to be shucking and jiving.
Nah.
We're not supposed to make excuses. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to put it all on the line regardless because we know what we're sacrificing for. Of course, we're not going to be murderers. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to go out and die. You know what I'm saying? Because
but it's certain integrity you have to have as a man to even, you know, like me, for instance, my uncle, my dad, my father, he lived in another city. He met my mom in college. They went to a HBCU in Ohio. My dad was a street cat, though. He was big in the streets, and he ended up doing a nice, lengthy bid during most of my childhood. But he got out, and once he got out, he installed a lot of game into me. But for them years growing up, you know, I picked up a lot of – I noticed this. I can look back now at 26, and I'm telling myself, certain things I grew up, I used to get emotional, you know what I mean? I used to excuses. My mom, she can make women, and I had to learn that women can make excuses. Women can do all type of stuff, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of accepted in society as to where, man, you know, your word is everything. You know, your integrity. You know, all you have is your balls and your word. That's it. Like Tony Montana was. That's just for real. Like, and as I got older, I realized that like. You can't really – you have to be on point at all times, especially living out here in L.A. or even in a city like Houston. Any kind of big metropolitan city, you have to – man, your reputation is everything. You know, it precedes you. It defines who you are. And if one little mishap, one little bad review, you know, your whole name tarnished. So certain things growing up – and a lot of brothers grow up without the father. And – that plays a big role because we take on a lot of characteristics of the woman, the female. And you notice that when a lot of cats be out here just with guns acting wild, and that's because the women can do that. They can act emotional, and that's the man's supposed to be the logical one to sit down and like calm down. You know what I mean? It's not that serious. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. But when a man has that same – see, the thing is, I just like, for instance, I seen this chick, and I always do this. Like, whenever I see – certain, especially living out here, because the black population, especially where I live like in the Woodland Hills area, so I don't see many black people at all unless it's like some comedian or some rapper or athlete or something. Like, I just don't. I see like Gilbert Arenas and shit like that. I don't see usually no regular. It's like, oh, what's up, bro? Like it's very rare. So when I'm out here and I do see black people, you know, especially older black men or black women, I'm opening doors like extremely hard. I have a firm rule for myself. If I go anywhere and it's a black waitress, I pay 30% tip no matter what. I don't care if she was pissed shit, the worst waitress ever. She get 30%. Certain things like that I kind of installed in myself. I say hi to every older black man I see. If I might even go out and spark up a conversation with the man. You know what I mean? Just to see. You see a lot of successful guys out here, you know, and you just want to know, like, damn, how'd you get where you are? You know what I mean? What roads did you take? So it's just soaking up, you know, trying to be around as many black people as I can, even though I have no problem with no one. I'm not just like discriminating, but I think when people say that, and it's like there's no issue with me wanting to be around more black people or trying to connect with black people. I don't see how I see it every day. My assistant director, he's Italian, and he connects with other Italians in the film industry. He's going out. If he meets an Italian, they're about to be buddy-buddy. They have a lot to talk about. You know, they talk about back home in Italy. They talk about whatever. They could go in their language. So it's like, but when you say about two black people, you know, you're like, you know, I don't want to ruffle feathers. And it's like, what? No, hell no. They're black people.
You being a reverse racist. And,
yeah, bro. Oh my God. If you ever ask, I always ask people, like, what does that mean? That doesn't racism is prejudice plus power. You know what I mean? There is no, I can't be racist. How can I be racist? You know, white people, they got it twisted. They say, oh, that you're being racist. See, name calling oh, hey, you know, some black guy called me a cracker at Starbucks. That's not racism. That's someone's being a bigot towards you or prejudice or just being an asshole. But racism is, hey, you can't stay in this area because you're black. You can't go to, you know, you can't get these resources because you're black. I'm going to mass incarcerate you, gentrify you, financially castrate you just because you're black. So that's the difference. I'm like, it's a power base. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you can't do nothing about that. And that's my issue as to where I just call you a name. It's like, come on. You kind of just brush that off. You know, people call me names. Dude just called me a nigger like 3 weeks ago, some Hispanic cat. And I'm just like, it holds no weight. You know, it's just names. You know what I mean? But if I'm applying for a job and the guy calls me a nigger and I don't get the job, you know what I mean? That can stop me. That holds me back financially. That stops my economical growth in my family. So, and that's what I'm into now. I'm all into black empowerment. Like a lot of my friends, and I love it because a lot of my dudes, like my boy Rob, my boy Chris, Spruce, like we're all talking about like building up economics for our families and each other, and trying to figure out. We're making like think tanks and trying to fund stuff together to make resources for, you know, just us as a group of friends, you know what I mean? And hopefully expanding that to much more bigger things in the future. But we're trying to, hey, let's buy some property together. Let's get a food truck going. You know what I mean? Let's figure out ways besides
invest
besides the norm. Me, I'm getting heavy into the legal marijuana culture out here. Starting a delivery service and certain things like that, and getting like a vegan edible line going. And it's like I see all these people in the dominant society. They're eating off this stuff legally. The paperwork, I have all my paperwork and stuff like that. And you see brothers every day getting locked up for little quarter pounds of weed, a little ounce here. You know what I mean? I've in Ohio, shit, man. I've heard the guys going to jail for a week or two over this or residue in the car. It's crazy shit. And I'm like, but it's it's ridiculous, man, and it's like it's heartbreaking because I see cats out here making a killing. You know, they have events where like they sell all type of marijuana products, and it's not even like the event itself is not really like legal because it's not like registered with the city, but they know what goes on every week and they don't say anything about it. You know what I mean? And that's when I'm like, this whole system is rigged. But if we get on code, we never on code. So we're always outed by someone in our society. We can do a lot of things. The streets, trust me, the street game can be beautiful for black people. But black people are never on code. It's another one snitching. Cops, they don't have to do nothing. Cops don't have to say nothing no more. Cops,
they just snitching on themselves, man.
This shit is ridiculous now. I just look like, and not to like condone that type of stuff, but it just shows you we can't even get on code for nothing. And it gets to a point where it's disheartening because I'm like, damn, man, I don't like that. I don't like, I want to be around to where every black person I see, I just know, man, we on code. I don't really worry about, even when I go to Crenshaw, because I go to this bookstore down at Lamart Park. It's right on Crenshaw, man. It's like, it's down there. And it's a black-owned bookstore. It's dope, man. I get all my literature from there. And I'm always topping game. I always meet some other black men in there, and we always sit up and talk about books and current events. Like, it never fails. I'm always there for like an hour. Just even if I know the book I'm supposed to get, I'm always there for an hour extra, chopping up game and talking to people. And just kind of just being down there, just being around LA, it's like, man, it's not we're not really on code as much as we should be. Everyone should be like, I should know, like, no, he's not gonna do nothing to me. I'm not gonna do nothing to him. If anything happens to him, I have his back. He has my back. You know what I mean? And I get when black women sometimes they say they're not, because man, it's the knuckleheads out here, and cats be on some wild shit, and we don't express ourselves to let people know. Like, that's why I say I go out my way to shake a brother's hand, or make sure I give him a head. Yeah, give him a head nod. Every time.
And that's a part of that healing process that we as black people, we still haven't really went through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And especially, us black men, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of healing to do amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, to where we automatically don't see another black man as our enemy. You know what I'm saying? We automatically don't see another black man as a hostile threat. You know what I'm saying? Like how they see us.
Yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? I see a brother like yourself, and you know what I'm saying, you kind of tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? We're not going, you know what I'm saying, go all into the details. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? When we first met, you know what I'm saying? Like it was love.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was.
That's how it's supposed
love.
to be.
Usually,
I notice a lot of brothers don't open up and welcome each other. See, that's where it'd be the mean mugging. It'd be like the
right.
nigga, what you looking at, nigga? And it's like, I was just looking at you to give you some kind of greeting, brother. Like that's it. You know what I mean? See how your day goes.
It's shit, dude.
But
I came out there and you showed me man love. You know what I'm saying? We up there, we living it up. You know what I'm saying? We living it up in Cali. You know what I'm saying?
And I could talk about that. Like I could talk about, I could, if you need some services, you come out here. I mean, it's recreational out here now. So I look out for people if they need some, medicinal hookup when they come out here. It's all love, and that's the thing. More people know that too. And they can hit me up. I'm like, if I'm available, I'm 100% down because why wouldn't I be? You're here. It's only like 8% of black people here. Like, man, I might as well come look out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody else gonna look out for you. You know what I mean? So
my man came out to we was standing in the middle of Hollywood, man. We touched down in LA. Shit, within like 15 minutes, man. My man was at the spot. We was kicking it, man. But I mean, at the same time, though, it's just like we keep talking about, man. Like we just have to continuously grow. You know what I'm saying? Continuously to self-reflect. The different strengths and weaknesses that we have, you know what I'm saying, within ourselves. Because I also think that a lot of just kind of like you brought up earlier, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of black men, you know what I'm saying, not growing up with positive male role models. I think that that has a lot to do with, you know what I'm saying, the hostility that we have towards each other because of the hostility that we have within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That we're, you know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm said it, you know what I'm saying, 50, 60 years ago, you know what I'm saying, that the most disrespected and the most unprotected person on the planet is a black woman.
Black woman, yes.
Our duty as men to step up and protect our women. It's our duty to not, you know what I'm saying, add on to the piles and the pressures that the world is also adding on to them. Go ahead, my G.
Exactly. And that's, like I said, that's why anytime I go somewhere, like just last night, I Postmate some food, and there was a black woman who brought it. I gave her I never give cash tips when I do this. I gave her $10, and I also gave her 30%. It's just because I know out here, a black waitress, this is where she might get something written on her receipt that says, we don't tip niggers. That happens out here all the time. So I feel like it's my duty to pay that extra just for that last person that didn't hook her up, you know what I'm saying, or give her what she was probably deserved, you know what I mean? So little stuff like that, I feel like helps balance. And also I'm trying to start a scholarship for next year. I'm trying to donate $5K. Well, it's $10,000, but $5K goes to one black girl, one black boy to go to college. It's gonna be certain rules to it. They have to do a certain essay they have to write. But I'm like working on that with my mans right now. But I'm just trying to do a lot of stuff like that, man. A lot of grassroots stuff. I feel like if a lot of people, small groups of friends and stuff, do stuff like that, then you'll look up 20 years from now, and then every village is taken care of. You know what I mean? The issue is, we're always looking for a leader. We're always looking for one big thing, like Black Lives, like Gay Lives Matter. I mean, Black Lives Matter. And we're always looking for some savior or some leader. Everyone needs to be a leader in their community, in their village, in their family, in their household. It has to go down to that small one denominator to where we're not looking for one big group. Like everyone, like, won't LeBron James open up a black school? I'm like, won't you open up? Won't you and your friends get together? You know what I mean? Why are y'all looking for LeBron James or Beyonce to say it's not gonna work. They can only do so much,
Right.
you know. And even
Right.
then, even with the funds, shit, man, they try to do that. I mean, LeBron is opening up a school. I've seen that in Akron, but we're always looking for these celebrities. We're always propping up celebrities, and those really not are. Those guys are now what I call the leaders of the black community. Get cats like you are the leaders of the black community. There is no just one community. Every city, every sector has their own community. You know what I mean? So everybody has a certain leader. You know what I mean? Just having some select, like people in the dominant society, they don't look at Taylor Swift as a leader. Her opinion on politics means jack shit to some 43-year-old white guy. He doesn't give a damn. You know what I mean? He's like,
right.
It helps no bearing to me. I don't care. But us, you know, like Chappelle said, remember he was like MTV when the World Trade Center 9/11. They were like, oh, let's see what Ja Rule has to say on the. We live with Ja Rule. Like, who gives a damn what Ja Rule?
Who gives a damn what Ja Rule think?
I love Jay-Z. Who gives a shit what Jay-Z said? You see him and Denzel. Low-key start tap shooing, man. And, you know, that was kind of Denzel said it's not the prison system. It's not the prison system that's designed to mass incarcerate black people. It's not. It is. I mean, it's proven to be rigged so that it could just funnel black men in there to do hard, cheap labor. It's for
slavery. It's slavery.
That's why
slavery. I mean, according to the Constitution, it's slavery.
According to the Constitution, it's slavery. So, when people say, "Oh, does Libya pray for Libya?" Yes, fucked up, man. It's fucked up over there. Don't get me wrong. But I could go in about Gaddafi because they shit. I mean, people praise Obama and all them motherfuckers. When you really get into it, they got rid of Gaddafi. Gaddafi was about to bring everybody together with that. His money was about to be backed by gold. He was like, hey, fuck all this bullshit. Look, we about to back our shit with our resources. You know, we're gonna get everybody on board in Africa. And Obama and them was like, hell no, we're not having that. You know, they got him up out of there on tape. So my thing is now y'all crying. This was the problem. They knew this was going to happen. That's why Gaddafi was as stern as he was, because this is what the resistance he was fighting. Now that he's dead, look, it's been a floodgate. I mean, so when we have that same shit going on here, I know, Matt. My dad did 11.5 years in prison for pretty much nothing, and he's a champ. He's a strong dude. You know what I mean? He just one of those savvy cats, man. I mean, shit, the brother got out of jail and married one of the correction officers. He wasn't that type of cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just a real. I mean, he's just a certain type of motherfucker. But I know cats like him. I mean, that's 11.5 years, 10 years, 5 years, a year for nothing. I mean, it doesn't fit the crime. I know cats Caucasian cats who, I mean, done real felonies and got off. Man, went back to school. I mean, in the court system, not like the sheriff gave him a pass. No, they went through the process, and the process at the end of the verdict was like, hey, yeah, you're good. You know what I mean? So you can't tell me when you got.
Right. Well, you know, it's a damn shame in America where you could get more time for drugs than you can for pedophilia.
Oh my gosh! Well, they know that. See, they know any kind of law that's going to harm white people collectively. They're gonna forget. They're gonna kind of throw that away. You see the opiate. That's what my next short film's about. You see the opiate epidemic that's going on right now. That's what they. That's what I like.
Public health crisis.
That's what I like to call the chickens have come home to roost. You know what I mean? That chickens have come home to roost, man. You mass incarcerate, demonize, dehumanize black people in the 80s for doing crack cocaine, which they purposely flooded and gave them and pretty much forced down their throats. Then all of a sudden, 30 years later, it's a health crisis. Oh, we need Narcan, and every place needs Narcan. We need to fund this. We need rehab. We need awareness. And it's like, no. How about we put them in prison? We lock them up. You know what I mean? How about we do the same route?
Mandatory minimums.
Yeah, let's give them. You know what? For every 0.1, let's give them 10 years. So let's go the full extent. Why not? It's going to clean it up. That's what they said. It's going to clean up the streets. It's going to work. So let's do it. But no, I know from my high school in Lone, which was all affluent white kids, I know 3 kids that overdosed in the last 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, Where I'm from, Northwest Ohio is huge. Like, it's one of the biggest counties. I think it's number one. It's top 5 for sure in heroin ODs. It's big over there, and it's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's like, look, this is what happened. My thing is, you can't. If everyone believes in God, if everyone believes in karma and all this stuff, you can't think that the stuff that these people have been doing for the last 400 years is going to go unwarranted. Like, it's just going to, like, just saying kumbaya and just saying we're sorry, it's going to work. There's no way you can be a spiritual person and believe that. There's no way. You know what I mean? That's why I respect. I have a lot of white friends. Who go out their way, and they're like, they put in extra work. They're like, I know it's fucked up. You know what I mean? I have one of my good friends now. He's becoming an attorney where we're from. But I know this guy, man. Me and him have like real conversations like this. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Like, he knows exactly. He's seen it with his own eyes. He used to come down to where I used to be at. And he see like, damn, like, people are disenfranchised on purpose. It's not like people just want to live the way they live. You know what I mean? It's not just the shit is designed that way. It's like, it's not hard. A lot of people in the dominant society, they deny it. That's the number one rule of white supremacy is denial.
Right.
You have to deny it exists. You know what I mean? You got to play dumb.
They want this image of America and the American dream to exist. So those people that are poor because they want to be poor and they want to be in the projects.
Yeah. Dr. Claude Anderson said the American dream for the people that are here now, their ancestors, the American dream for them was free wealth, free land, and free labor from Africans. That was the American dream. You can come over here, they will give you free land. That's white supremacy is the biggest affirmative action plan ever known to the face of this earth. You know what I mean? So when people try to say, I'm like, all this stuff, I'm like, no, what do you mean? I made a complete system that gave you benefits just because based upon your skin color. That's all it was. But with the Homestead Act, all that stuff, that's all it was allocating resources to white people based just because they were white immigrants. Hey, let's build up let's make this country great. Not again. That was like the first. Let's make this country great. Let's build up resources off the free labor of the Africans. So it blows my mind. They kind of throw that away and they're like, hey, we're all, it's all equal now. I'm like, no, hell no. Until we get something exclusive, not for people of color, not for minorities, all those vague ass terms that has nothing to do with us at this point. Until we get something exclusive, then I don't want to hear it, man. I feel like, fuck it, man. Let's all just get tight together. Well, not all of us. The Jason Whitlocks, the David Sheriff Clarks, those guys are not welcome. But all we need is 300, man. I like the movie 300. That was a good example. All we need is a small group who are on code, man, and we can do a lot of damage, because
that's why we building, man.
Yeah, I love everything you guys doing. That's why I'm glad to be on here, man. We don't have enough black media. We don't have enough black media, man. We don't. It's not enough. Man.
Most definitely. And so, I mean, you know what I'm saying. Before we wrap up, man, you know what I'm saying. I definitely, I know the people can see the poster.
Oh yeah,
behind you, Black and Blue, and that's actually, you know what I'm saying, the name of this, you know what I'm saying, this recording and this show today. You know what I'm saying, you produce, you directed, you wrote, and you know what I'm saying, you even made an appearance.
I made my little F. Gary Gray appearance, my little family, yeah.
And I got to see, you know what I'm saying, one of the early screenings of the film, man, and I definitely enjoyed it, man. Can you give a little description of what Black and Blue actually is about?
Yes, Black and Blue is about it's a rookie's first day on the job, and he gets pretty much an eye for a wide awakening after his partner crosses the line on racial profiling. The difference between this, when I say that, and when I usually say that to people, the first thing they're going in their head is, it's like some white cop who's on some racial stuff, but no. This film is different because the roles are reversed. The whole scenario is reversed. You have black cops harassing Caucasian people. So in the story, Isaac is his first day on the job. And he's excited. He's He's coming in as naive. He's one of those naive cops. He's like, I'll come here to really, bad people are really bad. Good people are good. I come to fight crime. Everything's just black and white. There is no corruption. I come in here to be a cop. I want to help the community. So when he first gets to the precinct, he's partnered up with this cop who's on his way up to a higher position. So, naturally, the rookie cop, they're going to partner him with a more experienced cop to show him the ropes. And suddenly, throughout the day, he kind of noticed that, the cop is on some bullshit, and he's really racially profiling the Caucasian people, their patrol. And one thing, I don't kind of want to give everything away because it hasn't came out yet, but one thing leads to another, and Isaac is put in a position that most young cops are. That's really the base of the story to me. How you have this cop who comes in, say you have a cop that's white, he's like 20 years old, he joins the academy, and maybe 2 years prior, he was on the football team with black guys, played basketball with black guys, had black friends, But once he gets on this force and he joins his brotherhood, all that shit's out the window, And it comes to a certain time where you might have to lie, you might have to do something that's not morally right to keep everything in order. So that's kind of what the film is about, and it shows you the different sides. And also it's more so for people in the dominant society to see, because they need to understand what we see far as imagery of us getting harassed, us getting harmed for no reason. And I think when they see like a black kid get killed or when they see someone get harmed, it kind of it doesn't register because they see it all the time. You see movies like 12 Years a Slave, Roots. You see so much imagery of black people getting harmed, and we're still out here shucking and jiving and kicking it. So they're like, see, people in the dominant society, they understand, hey, you do something like that to one of ours, we gonna blow up some buildings. We gonna go into mass shootings. You know what I'm saying? We, on the other hand, we go out there with some candlelights and a prayer vigil and on the most docile shit known to man. And that's
you try to blame the victim. Be like, oh, he shouldn't have been running. He shouldn't have fun.
All that shit. So white people in the dominant society, they're just like, well, okay, well, shit, man. If they okay with it, I'm not about to throw a fuss. You know what I'm saying? But they don't show. Right. They won't show videos of them getting killed like that. They never do that. I mean, they act like it don't even exist. And if you base everything upon the news, you would like, white people don't get killed by cops. White people don't. They don't show those videos for purposely. They don't want you getting comfortable seeing that. That has to be deemed. That has to be the worst thing ever for a person in a dominant society to get harmed. Us, it has to be to the point where it's like, oh yeah, he deserved it. You know what I'm saying? The nigga was resisting. The nigga was running the nigga was running away. Yeah, he should have been running. So it's on that tip. So the film is definitely for people to think and be like, wow, I wouldn't want that to happen. This lady looks like my mom, my aunt. That guy looks like my dad. This kid looks like my brother. So I feel like those are some of the ways where we can really express ourselves in the film. Well, I can express myself in this film as far as letting other people see how we see it, because they don't see it that way. It's a normal thing. It's like riding a bike, man. Black kid got killed. Oh, damn. Okay. You can just watch the image. They'll put it on loop. You'll see it over and over. And they do that on purpose. The media does that on purpose. It's to program you. And seeing stuff like this, I showed it to a few director friends of mine who are Caucasian. And they're like, damn, that's heavy. Like I could tell, because I watched them as they're watching it, and I could tell like it's heavy on them, because it's like you don't. He's like, yeah, I've never seen that before in my life. I've never seen anything of that nature in real life or on film. So I mean, as far as the context that it's in, they never seen anything like that. So I'm like, that's the whole point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe if you see it happening to you, then maybe you will want to do something about it and understand how wrong it is. You know what I mean? And all the scenarios that happen in the film, they're all based on true events that happen, but those events happen from white cops harming black citizens. So, not cops, race soldiers. That's another thing too. I don't use the cops. Those guys are not cops. Nowhere in the police manual does it says harm to harm people or discriminate against people based upon their race. Nowhere it says that in the police manual. So you can't be a cop if you're out there doing that. You're a race soldier. You know what I mean? Cops don't. I love cops. I love police officers. Man, hey, yeah, Blue Lives Matter, all that. But a race soldier, someone that goes out here and wears a Confederate flag or a Nazi shirt under his uniform and kills a black kid, someone that goes out here and has the Nazi eagle tattooed on their arm and is on the force, those guys are not cops. Nowhere in the handbook does it say do that stuff. Nowhere does it say be prejudiced based upon race. Right. So you can't. That would be an insult to the good cops, right? You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I'm like,
for me, man, it was kind of like I would say like Training Day meets Crash. You know what I'm saying? I really like how you connected, you know what I'm saying, the various stories. And of course, like I said, you know what I'm saying, the people gonna have to go out there and see it themselves. But you know what I'm saying, I really like how together, you know what I'm saying, in the end. And you know what I'm saying, like you said, that imagery that not only the dominant society doesn't see, we as black people don't see. You know what I'm saying? We don't see, you know what I'm saying, a black cop out, you know what I'm saying, acting, you know what I'm saying, like you said, like a race soldier, man. And so, you know what I'm saying, I definitely take my hat off to you, too. You know what I'm saying, for even, you know what I'm saying, just the concept, you know what I'm saying, and then also, you know what I'm saying, having the testicular fortitude to put this out, you know what I'm saying, because I know that, you know what I'm saying, this is the type of that you can only put out if you're independently financed. Oh,
definitely, definitely. Yep.
Like you can't put out something like this if you're backed by, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Some
Oh no. They will have to even if they will rip that, they will put my script through the shredder. They will they will literally blackball me. And my whole point, one thing I kind of joke, if I don't get a death threat, I kind of fail. If I don't get one death threat with this film, if someone on Twitter doesn't say, fuck you nigger, I failed. That's the reaction I'm looking for. Because if I don't get that reaction, then it's like, what am I? Because I need people to understand. That means that a white supremacist looked at this film and that fucked with them. You know what I mean? And that's the whole point. I want people to. Films are supposed to make you uncomfortable or comfortable. But they're not supposed to just make you feel like you're supposed to leave feeling a certain way. Either you're super happy, you're super down, but you're not supposed to just be like, oh, okay, like what's to eat? Like you're supposed to. People discuss films when they walk out of it. Like, damn, did you remember? Like, that was crazy when that happened. And so I just want people to think. I want people to see things from our point of the viewpoint. And I think that a lot of times when we do like to put out stuff, like I was saying about 18 and 4, I wanted to say this. When Tariq Nasheed did it, like I said, it's the #1 documentary. Danny Glover tried to do the same film in the 90s. Steven Spielberg and some higher ups told him they're not going to give him the funds for the movie because it didn't have a white savior in it. They literally said that. So we can't give you the funds. There's no white savior. But there was no white savior in the Hades. There is no white savior in the Hades movie, like in the story. Like that, the whole point was defeating white supremacy. Like that, it blows my mind how this stuff works. And you hear about it, and then me living out here, I'm like, damn. Like I see cats can't. I'll talk to some cats about films I want to do and stuff, and they're like, damn, like, I can just tell they're like, fuck, I could never, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get out there like that, and I can just see them.
Hell no, nigga, you on your own, what?
You on your own, nigga, like, what the hell you talking about? Like, nah, which I get. Like I said, man, I understand some guys are just docile, and it scares them because they are constantly put in fear, like they're told, they're less than. They're told they can't make it without white daddy. So it's like it's scary. It's like that Steve Harvey. You see, Steve Harvey. He's one of those guys where he's he was down when he was like early 30s and stuff like that. And he's so on. He's getting that paper. He's scared. He don't want to lose his money. He just wants to be neutral as possible, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of cats like that. They don't want to lose that good job. They don't want to ruffle no feathers, man. They don't want to. they just kind of they want to talk good on the internet and they want to act like they do certain things, but they're not putting no real action in. They go to their jobs tiptoeing around, tap dance. They like my thing is the cats I know like work those conscious. They go to job. They like they still carry that same. My uncle worked at Ford forever, but he never went in there like yes and that. Never. He go in there solid, tall, black man, strong, FOI. Like yeah, I'm here to work. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to kiss nobody's ass. I'm not here to do nothing outside of my job description. You know what I mean? And it's like how scary in this industry. It's a dirty game, man. But my thing is, I feel like we're at the digital age where I can put my own content out. I can make my own films, and I can pick up distributors. That's really all I want to do. I want to get a bigger distributor and like, yeah, we give you a couple M's to push this shit. But let me do all the groundwork myself. You know what I mean? I'll put everything together myself. But once this product is done, I want to make it to the point where they can't deny it. They're like, "Fuck, it's good. I know this shit gonna sell." So I have a target audience. I know who I'm trying to target. So, like I said, we don't have that Black Renaissance era no more. We don't have who's a young Black director that you think about, young, not like Spike and them, like young, like off the top of your head. It's like, oh yeah, there isn't any. But like I said, Ryan Coogler, it's a couple other people out there. Don't get me wrong. But who's really putting out content raw? When Menace Society came out, Boys the Hood, that shit was raw. You know what I mean? Right. That shit was like, dang. Right. It's heater. Right. It's like, whoo, man, you see that shit, you like, wow, okay, this ain't no shit to be playing with. Now you don't get that, man. Stuff to be a little more docile or make you feel good more towards the end. I'm not on that shit, man. I want stuff to be raw, man. I want stuff to be painful. I want people to feel pain. Humans, we feel a lot of pain. Black people, especially, we feel a lot of pain, and it's okay to sometimes revisit that and let that out. You know what I mean? We have a lot of things in our community. It's a lot of things in our community I like to talk about, man. A lot of stuff. I wanted to make a horror film next. I wanted to make a horror short film next October about pedophilia in the Black community. Like a lot of I didn't know this growing up until now, but it's like a lot of people been molested and stuff as kids, man. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people were tampered with and played with by mama's boyfriends and people in their family. I didn't know it was that big, you know what I mean? So I started going online and started reading up and started looking around, and a lot of it I read has to do with when like the Creole on like the Louisiana Purchase and down like the New Orleans area and all that, a lot of Creole people were there, and they were like the first guys to really come over on that homosexual and pedophilia.
The French,
you know what I mean? Yeah, the French. They were the first ones to do that kind of weird stuff. That's why in Haiti you could I'm not saying it's wrong. I have no problem with nobody's sexuality, but they're not for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's for those reasons, buck breaking and all that type of shit, to where a lot of that stuff translates to the Black community to this day. Like he said, we're still broken. So a lot of things we haven't broken away from. Niggas ain't perming their heads like that no more. But niggas is doing some other shit. The cats are we doing a lot of other coon and stuff. And docile stuff that we shouldn't be doing that is just as bad. It's like we're not really that far apart from where we were 150 years ago, man. Some of us are, but a lot aren't.
A lot of us, a lot not, man. You know what I'm saying?
Only difference is they can live on their own and they can buy and spend money with white folks. That's the only difference they have. Everything else is still the same.
Facts. So, man, before we get out of here, man, let the people know when the film is coming out, where they can catch it, and also where they can catch more of your works at.
Awesome. Yes. Right now, I'm planning on the film to come out in the next 2 months. I have to do the film festival route, but I plan on having it on my Vimeo page. It's Nirvana Island Filmworks. If you just go to vimeo.com/Nirvana Island Filmworks.
Spell that for the people, man.
Yes, NIRVANA ISLAND Filmworks, FILMWORKS. And that's where all my content will be, just online stuff right now. I'm also going to have my short film on Amazon Prime, but again, I have to do the film festival route, and they're real picky on some festivals don't want you to put your stuff online, just in case, say, a distributor hits me up like, hey, we want to turn your short film into a feature film, but they don't want no one to see it. You know, they kind of just want to keep it under wraps. So for those particular reasons, which I'm okay with, but I'm not too sure if I want to. I'm working on some stuff that's way deeper right now, more my style. This film in particular, it was a story I wanted to tell that I wrote. But as far as this style that it was shot in and everything, I'm really working on that next. I'm really working on developing my angles, and so you see a film, you don't even have to see the title, and you can just see from the clips like, oh, what's name shot that? You know what I mean? That's what's name style. Like Spike Lee has his float. You know what I mean? It's certain that shot where like they're kind of floating or whatever like that. It's like certain directors have certain. You see a Michael Bay film, it's a lot of car chases and explosions, like Bad Boys 2 and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just certain people have their style. So I'm really working on that right now. I have a documentary that I'm about to start working on next month about Black-owned restaurants in Los Angeles. I'm just me and this rap group called the Cool Kids, which they're pretty big. They were more so big when I was coming up. They're going to be hosting it, and we're going to go around LA and go to new up-and-coming Black-owned restaurants to kind of explore those places. And I have another short film that I'll be shooting sometime this spring. And that's pretty much it, man. Just kind of grinding and trying to put out as much content as I possibly can.
Hey, man. Hey, shit. It's all love here, man. And, man, I appreciate you taking time, you know what I'm saying, out the schedule today, man, to sit down with your boy, man, you know what I'm saying, chop it up,
pleasure, man. This was a pleasure, man. I love it.
Yeah, man. Well, shit, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm going to make sure that I continuously use my platform to share anything that you have going on. You know, you're always welcome to come back, you know what I'm saying, whenever you got any new projects going on or
definitely
any new initiatives. We always chop it up regardless, you know what I'm saying? We always in the trenches, you know what I'm saying?
You woke me up on a lot of topics, a lot of stuff, even at times where I would have a certain opinion on something. And I was like, nah, and then I'll see you, and I'm like, it would make me challenge the way I'll think, because I'm like, I would expect you to be on the same, and you'd be like, nah, I'm looking at it from this point, and I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Certain things.
Man, I tell you, almost all my friends or everybody that like me or follow me on Facebook tell me about a story about one time when they almost unfollowed me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I never do
though. That's what you want to do. I mean, you want to push it.
Yeah, it wasn't to the degree of I want to follow you, but it'd be so much as I wasn't thinking it out all the way, and I just kind of had a certain mindset, like, or I said somebody like, oh, he's a coon, and then you're like, oh, I wouldn't call him. I'm like, damn, you're right though. I just jumped the gun. The nigga ain't a coon, but you know what I mean? It's like the nigga he's soft shoeing, but certain things like that.
He baby cooning, man. He baby cooning.
Yeah. He baby cooning. So I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. I got banned on Twitter. I was crushed when Mike Vick said that shit. I went on Twitter. I called him a coon. I got back on 5 hours later. Like, man, you suspended for good, man. Like, get out of here, man. I was like, damn. I was like, oh my goodness, man. But yeah, I was hurt because I'm like, Mike Vick, dude. I've argued with people on Facebook during Facebook earlier days about like people calling Mike Vick the worst nigger alive, and then like for you to go on TV and say this shit, man, I'm like, dude, like it's a slap in the face. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like,
well, like we've been talking about, boys don't know the code and don't follow the code.
No code, man. And Casket on LeVar and all shit. Them dudes are on code, man. LeVar, when he was in front of Trump, he was 100% on code.
Right,
I'm about to no ass kissing, man. No apologetic for no reason. Not saying he's not grateful for what, you know what I mean? Right. It's like, man, we need more cats like that, and that's all. That's all I really want to do. I want my films to inspire people and to kind of wake people up a little bit, man. shake the status quo, you know, of what we expect from ourselves, really. You know what I mean? That's really my goal.
Stuff, well, man. Black and Blue, man. Make sure that y'all look out for
Yes.
that.
Yes.
It's coming to a film festival near you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Gonna be coming on Amazon and a bunch of other platforms.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna make sure that, and you know
Thank
what
you,
I'm
man.
saying?
Thank you.
I'm a buy, you know what I'm saying, whatever platform it's on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go buy the bootlegs. I'm gonna get it all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Well, man, like I said, man, I appreciate you taking the time out today, you know what I'm saying, with me, man. And shit, we're gonna get up again, man. Make sure that yeah, man, one more time, man, let the people know where they can find you at, man, where they can follow you on social media.
Follow me on Twitter at J.A _ Spicoli. Spicoli's my nickname. It's a marijuana related. You can also find me on Instagram at J.A _ Spicoli. I'm on Facebook at J.A Frost. Pretty much, yeah, I have my IMDb page, imdb.com/J.A _ Frost. So, yeah, man, I'm trying to do more stuff like this, man. I love it, man. I love just coming out here talking to you, chopping up game about real, you know, conscious topics, man, and really trying to push each other, you know, push each other's brands. That's really what we have to do now. We might be on grassroots platforms now, but you look up 5 years from today, and who knows where we'll be. You know what I mean? So we gotta start somewhere, and we have to continue to uplift and show love to one another, you know, without any kind of monetary gain or any kind of bullshit like that. It's totally on the love of one another. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. It's been great.
Peace, man. Most deaf, man. So make sure that y'all check us out at Melanated Illuminated.com. We're going to have this show up on our YouTube page, and we also going to add it to the website. And also make sure that if you in Houston, December 16th, you get out and you support All World Radio for the Smudge, 4302 Alameda, 2 to 6. We're going to be out there, you know what I'm saying, doing the thing. Look for my boy J.A Frost out there, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing, you know what I'm saying, out in Cali and worldwide. You know what I'm saying? We putting on for the people. We putting on for the community, man. So until next time, man, your boy iTunes Rob, man. I'm going to get at y'all, brothers. Peace.
Peace out, man.